Uiuiui. Guck mal, was der Frank da in seiner Garage versteckt.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Also das hast du hier in den 2 Jahren gebastelt.
Über den Winter.
Ja. Richtig cooles Projekt.
Ja.
Also ein paar Eckdaten. Was ist das für ein Motor?
80 Kubik. Und läuft so 40 Stundenkilometer.
Krass. Und das alles an so einem Mountainbike. Viel Glück. Gute Fahrt. Oh my god. And it sounds amazing, I'm amazed. Oh yeah! Oh my god, that thing is fast. So geil, Frank! Oh, Scheiße! Ganz schön kompliziert, ey!
Muss man erst lernen wie Fahrrad fahren.
Also wie stürzt du hier?
Ja, er hat den gelben Knopf. Zack.
Wow. I'm still pretty stuck here, and right now there are no real sailing opportunities here. So I decided that right now it's a great time to do a quick pit stop back to Germany to do some well-needed reconnecting with my friends and family. And I'm going to be back to continue the project with the Snapper. And I'm already back from Germany. I was staying only for 1 month. It was very nice, but now, oh my god, I'm looking out on the ocean. I see a sailboat anchored over there, and I really want to sail again. Oh my god, I want to be on the ocean, just look into nothing, see the stars, be there with the waves and the dolphins. So, let's talk about how all of this project of hitchhiking around the globe is gonna continue. What's the plan? What are my options at this point? All my thoughts to that. We're gonna talk about that right now. So, I'm stranded more or less on the Azores. There are a couple of ways that I can still get off this island, but it's not gonna be easy. As you guys know, I want to hitchhike around the world going west. That means the next big milestone remains to be to hitchhike a sailboat across the Atlantic. That means I have to get somehow from where I am right now, or so to say Europe, over the Atlantic to somewhere on the American continent. And also many people ask me many times, like, where do you want to go on the American continent? And that is not that important to me. I can go to Canada, to the US, to Mexico, to Central America, to the Caribbean, to Brazil, to South America. As long as I get over the Atlantic, it's a big milestone already, and then I can hitchhike wherever I might land. And basically everything is interesting to me, and once I reach the continent I can still hitchhike, you know, up and down the continent, except maybe between Colombia and Panama it's not so easy, but the rest there are streets to go up and down. And then once I want to continue to hitchhike a sailboat over the Pacific, I can always go to the Pacific coast, go to the harbors, try to get a boat. But for now, crossing the Atlantic remains the biggest challenge, and sadly the boat, my last boat, it couldn't take me to Canada because of COVID-19. I would have loved to go to Canada, but Canada is not my only destination. I will also take boats to everywhere on the American continent. But now that I'm in the Azores, it's not so easy because there are certain sailing routes and certain sailing seasons. And most people will go from the Mediterranean when they're crossing the Atlantic down to the Canaries, and then from the Canaries to the Caribbean, spend the non-hurricane season in the Caribbean, and then go back to Europe over Bermuda and the Azores and to the Mediterranean. So my last boat, which was going from the Canaries to Canada, was a very special boat. Boats like that, they're not many, and it's usually special boats like an expedition boat and special people who are crazy about sailing and want to do really special trips. And it was a unique boat that I got on, and now it brought me to this island, and now I need to get out of here again somehow. And as of right now, it looks like that 90% or more of the sailboats that are coming to San Miguel are gonna leave back going east. That means going back to the European mainland, which is for my project kind of the wrong direction. But if I have no other choice, I can also go back with one of these sailboats to the mainland of Europe, and then from there in autumn, in like, November, October or something like that, hopefully get a sailboat to the Canary Islands and then go on the main route to the Caribbean. But this year many people stopped sailing and many countries are still closed, also Caribbean islands, and it's not an easy year to sail, and sailing is, even under normal conditions, not the easiest thing to do, because you always need to do the customs and you always need to watch the weather and your boat, and if you get sick or your boat has a problem, it's already difficult. And now with the restrictions of the COVID-19, many people just ditch sailing for a year or two, and there are less boats definitely. So even taking the easy route and going from here back to the European continent, which I most likely have to do if I want to hitchhike a sailboat, it's not going to be easy because there are not going to be so many people sailing. But I will try it, I will try my best, and hopefully I will find something. And hopefully the third attempt of crossing the Atlantic will finally get me to the promised land of American continent. That would be nice. It has been a crazy adventure. Two times I tried to cross the Atlantic, and 2 times some very unlikely events stopped me. First one was a breaking mast in light wind, which is very unlikely. Second time, the outbreak of a pandemic, which is very unlikely. So yeah, I wonder what the third time is going to bring. Hopefully only the best and smooth sailing. And other than the sailboats, I don't see many options here right now. I could try to hitchhike a plane, but this airport here, it's very small. There are not many flights leaving, and I didn't see any private jets there, so I don't know, probably there's no one flying private here, or maybe once in a month or something like that. So standing there with a sign in front of the airport for 1 month, can I fly with you? I think it's not a good idea. And yeah, you guys know from Porto when I stood 3 days with the sign, the chances are not very good, of course, and I think it's impossible to hitchhike a jet here. So flying is not an option, and there's also no ferry that goes from here to the mainland or to somewhere else. So this island is only reachable by sailboat or plane. So I could not even try to hitchhike any ferry out of here. Another thing which would give me maybe a teeny tiny chance of getting out of here would be freighters. But I think it's pretty much impossible nowadays to work on a cargo ship and then go somewhere with that, just one way, and then hop off again. This was like a thing back in the 50s or something where people used to do that, but I think nowadays it's impossible. Normally you need a lot of certificates and insurances, and for this basic firefighting and marine safety certificate it's like 1,000 euros to do it or something like that, and then I still don't have the job, and most people, they won't hire me just to go one way and then I hop off and say goodbye forever. They want people who work there for 10 years or years. So I think that's like also impossible, but maybe if I cannot find a sailboat, I will just go to the container harbor over here, which is right in the city, and a pretty cute and tiny one, and maybe just ask for fun. I mean, I cannot lose anything, right? Or the last option. If I'm still here in winter and I'm just not getting off this island, I can try to sneak on a cargo ship and be a stowaway. I always kind of wanted to do that, but I maybe end up in prison. So maybe not the best idea, but yeah, we will see. But for now, I will try to hitchhike a sailboat as much as I can. That will be my priority here right now. In the meantime, I will also of course enjoy the beautiful Azores and their beautiful sunsets, and we will see what happens. Yeah, crazy, so many detours, but that's the beauty of life. COVID-19 is just a bummer, but it's kind of another adventure to hitchhike around the world during all of that. Hopefully, I really hope that over time it will get better and we can go back to normality, no masks and free travel. But life is very beautiful either way, and we just need to adapt to new situations and still see the beauty and still be happy, still find a way to go forward.
Das ist nicht gut, Arne. Vibriert alles.
Thank you so much for your precious time and enjoying this adventure with me. If you can't wait to see how this journey will continue, you can get instant early access to the next episode on my Patreon page. This project is only possible through your support on Patreon. So thank you from the bottom of my heart.